y'all? So today we're going to be making some spicy oxtails. First, we're going to start off with about 2 pounds, 8 to 10 oxtails. I'm going to season it really well with salt. This is beef, so we do need to season it very well, but don't go overboard because we will be stewing these and that salt will marinate in there. Next, I'm going to add some garlic powder. I'm going to do about 2 tablespoons of garlic powder. I really like garlic powder. If you don't like it as much, you could just do 1 tablespoon, but if you want that flavor, I do suggest 2 tablespoons. And then I'm going to go in with 2 tablespoons of onion powder. And then I'm going to do about 1 tablespoon of ground black pepper. Then I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of adobo. This is just the all-purpose seasoning that I like to add a little bit more flavor. Next, I'm going to use some hot sauce. I'm using Louisiana. You can use a hot sauce that's hotter if you like. The more hot sauce you use, a little more spicy it'll be. And then next, I'm going to go on with about 2 teaspoons of crushed red pepper. And again, the more you add of this, the more spicy it'll be. And then I'm going to add some kitchen bouquet, which is just to help brown the oxtails when we're cooking them. If you have like the Jamaican browning sauce, that'll work too. I just use whatever I had. Then next, I want to add 3 garlic cloves. I do suggest using the whole garlic cloves, but only if you don't have it and can't get it, you can go ahead and do the minced garlic. Next, I'm going to roughly dice a large sweet onion. And then I'm going to roughly dice 1 whole bell pepper. I only did half of the onion. You can do the whole thing if you like, but I only did a rough dice on half of a large yellow onion and then a whole green bell pepper. And I'm only doing like a very rough chop on these, a rough dice really, because I think the bigger it is, the more flavor it'll hold, because like I said, we will be stewing these. After you chop your bell pepper and onion, you just mix up everything that we have in the bowl with the oxtails so far. And then we're going to dump those into the pot that we'll be marinating everything in. Once you dump those in, you want to add the chopped bell peppers and onions and then mix it in very well. And then we're going to set this in the fridge to marinate for a few hours. I do suggest marinating it overnight, but if you don't have time to do it overnight and you want to do it a bit quicker, then do it for at least, I say, 8 hours. But before you set it to marinate, add 2 bay leaves. And then I added 2 sprigs of rosemary. And then I also added 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. Mine is in the tube, but they also have it in a can. Feel free to use the canned one. But yeah, just then cover and marinate overnight for at least 4 hours if you can't do overnight. And once it's done marinating, you can go ahead and add 6 to 8 cups of water or beef stock, just until the oxtails are barely covered. Now, I don't show this on the video, but I did ended up adding about 2 beef bouillon cubes, which essentially made the broth for me. But if you don't mind just the water, that'll work too, because we season it so well. But I do suggest using the beef stock or beef broth just to add a bit more flavor. And then I'm going to add about 1 cup of dry red wine before I start it over the heat. And the red wine will just add some richness and some depth of the flavor for us in the oxtails. And then next, all you want to do is really cover it and bring it to a boil. And then once it comes to a boil, you want to turn the heat down and just simmer it. From what you can see here, this was about after maybe like an hour or so of stewing. You can see everything still attached to the bone. So then from there, I lowered the heat and let it simmer. And this is how it looked after about 4 hours over medium heat with the lid on. And as you can see, it is falling off the bone. That's how I like mine. If you don't like it falling off the bone like that, not check on it after about 3 hours. Or just put the heat even lower. Yeah, as you can see, everything falling off the bone. Or you put the heat even lower and let it just stew a little slower. And they're pretty much done at this point. But I kind of take an extra step. I like to eat mine the next day. So I really let them cool after they're done cooking. And then as you can see, all the fat settles to the top. So once it's completely cool and that fat separates, I like to take a spoon and scrape off all of that fat so that my oxtails aren't greasy. This is just an extra step. You don't have to do this. This is what I like to do. But yeah, as you can see, I'm just scraping all the yellow off, which is like that oily fat. scraping all of that off so that when I reheat these, you'll have nothing but like really the gravy and the meat. That'll be so great over some rice with some vegetables. They'll go great with collard greens, however you like to eat your oxtails. So yeah, as you can see, I'm just scraping off that leftover excess fat, and once I scrape all of this off, all you have to do is reheat it over, I say, a medium to medium high heat so it gets to your desired temperature. Get it to a nice boil, and then, as I said, serve over rice or with your favorite sides for your oxtails. But at this point, we're pretty much done. Thank you all so much for watching. Please do not forget to subscribe, and keep in mind that the full recipe is listed down below in the description bar. Peace.